with cutting-edge tools. On behalf of the management of St. Xavier's Catholic College of Engineering, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, ECE, and Electrical and Electronics Engineering. With great pleasure, I would like to introduce the resource person of today's event, Dr. Abhilash Nelson, a technology researcher, AI educator, and software development professional. He is having more than 15 years of experience in software development, training, and research. Dr. Abhilash completed his PhD from St. Xavier's Catholic College of Engineering, Anna University, in the specialization Deep Learning and Face Recognition. He has extensive expertise in artificial intelligence, generative AI, machine learning, deep learning, quantum computing, and full-stack application development. He has trained more than 60,000 learners worldwide through over 27 online courses published on platforms such as Udemy and Packet. And now he is working as a senior technology trainer at Faith InfoTech Academy, Technopark, Trivandrum. In addition to his academic and training contribution, Dr. Abhilash Nelson has published a lot of research papers in international journals, and he is the co-inventor of a patent in AI-based facial recognition. With great pleasure, on behalf of the management and the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Electronics and Communication Engineering, and Electrical and Electronics Engineering, I extend a warm welcome to Dr. Abhilash Nelson to present a topic on research project development and future research careers. I extend a warm welcome you, dear sir. Kindly present. Thank you.
Very good morning to all of you. Thank you, Selva Pradeep sir, for introducing me. I'm really thrilled to have you all on a beautiful Saturday morning. And like he said, I didn't publish a lot of papers, a few of them. And I would like to share my experience and also the current trends or how we can incorporate AI into our research, where we can make the research much faster compared to the previous research generation. We can actually divide. Are you able to view the screen that I'm sharing?
Yes, sir. Yes, it is visible.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. All right. So the objectives of this session is you already have experience. Some of you already have experience in publishing research papers. So I'm targeting the people who are yet to publish research papers or who are still doing the research. We will see what are the different steps in the research process, and more predominantly how we can incorporate the help of AI into the current research. Then what are the future research career opportunities that we are having? So without wasting much time, let's start with the session. Okay, let me start with a quick question. Do you believe that AI will be replacing the so-called researchers within 10 years? I would say within 5 years, because the technology is moving very fast nowadays. So let's have a discussion of, can anyone of you share your thoughts regarding whether this AI will be able to replace researchers within the next 5 years? And if you believe so, why you are believing so? If you are saying no, then why you are believing so? Yes. Yeah, thank you. Uh, yeah, partially. Yes, of course, partially. That's almost an accurate answer. Partially, it will be replacing researchers. That depends on your research, isn't it? If your research includes, yes, yes, yes. So if it includes research that have some innovation in it, then of course the research will be your own research. But if the research includes only referring through the previous papers, saying that these papers, this is not good or this is good, then of course you will be easily replaced because you are not introducing any innovation there. We will see why we think that this AI can replace these kind of research. I will classify research into basically into two types, I would say. The research that can bring something new to humanity, and the research just for the sake of research, going through the old papers, going through the old publications, aggregation kind of research. We are aggregating the details from previous publications. We are saying that, okay, it is good or it is not. So these kind of research, the second type of researchers will surely be replaced by AI within maybe 2 or 3 years, I would say. I will not be even saying 5 years because I'm currently into this generative AI training and I now know how fast this thing is evolving. After sleeping on night, when I'm waking up, there are 2 more models released. But this much fast things are evolving right now. So the second type of research, just aggregating all the details, publishing a paper, those kind of researchers will be surely replaced by AI in the next 3 years. So the answer, just like we have two answers there, yes and partially. Both are right. Partially will be replaced if your research includes some innovations. You will be fully replaced if if your research does not include any innovation. Okay, let's see why I'm saying this. And before that, I would like to share the basics of the steps that are involved in research. And by the way, all right, okay, let's. This is a very controversial topic, the research paradox. We are now conducting more research than ever before. There is something called as a trend called as paper milling. Does anybody know what is paper milling? Paper milling. Anyone? What is paper milling? It's a trend that is currently happening in terms of paper publishing. Anyone? Problems. Okay, so these are the problems that we want to address. And even in the age of AI, why the research still matters. There should be innovation in fields like in healthcare, artificial intelligence, climate solutions. I hope you notice nowadays we are receiving these SMS messages from our weather department saying that there could be possible chance of rain within two 2 hours. And nowadays, this is far more accurate compared to some 5 years before when or 10 years before we had that Doordarshan news where the news person will say that it could rain, and there will not be any rain. The accuracy of those predictions were less than 10% at that time, but nowadays the accuracy is very much high. If they say it will rain 80% of the time. That's because the the prediction accuracy improved. There are new models, new AI models that can predict weather based on the data that we receive. All these happened because of more research in that field. Then, of course, for national security in military-based applications, educations, research starts with curiosity, and innovation start with research. And any country, the economic growth will start with innovation. And by the way, before we move on to what is research and what are the different components which is contributing to the research workflow, let me ask you something. As a country, India, can any one of you cite any domain in which we are truly, genuinely ahead of all the countries? Just for curiosity, I'm asking.
Along with MTech and
I'm
BTech
not
degrees
an
in
anti-national
aerospace
and
and
all. I'm
aeronautical
just asking
engineering
you,
from JNTU.
can anyone spot any domain in which our research is much better than when we compare that to other countries, including China, USA, or maybe Philippines, Singapore? We are saying that we are nearing, we are actually having so much GDP and all is very best nowadays, and we are really fastly approaching the developed country status. Still, I'm asking, can you cite any one of the domains in which our research is much better compared to other countries? And we are really fastly any domain that we can spot the developed country status. Still, I'm asking, any domain? I think half of you are researchers. So as researchers, I'm asking you, can you suggest any domain in which our country is excelling in research compared to other countries? We are not talking in terms of St. Xavier's College or Chungangadai people or Nagargoil people or even Tamil Nadu people or Kerala people. We are gathered here as Indian researchers, taking the country, India as a whole. I'm asking this question. Whatever we are publishing will be attached to the name of the country that we are in. Any one of the topic or any one of the domain that we are excelling in, even though we are the top research paper producing country. Yes. Yeah, there's a paradox. Yes, that was a really nice answer. we are better. Of course, we are better than other countries. I'm not saying that we are little compared to others. We are, of course, better than other countries. Um, we are producing satellite at much lower cost. Okay, that's what I'm asking. We have so many IT companies here, isn't it? We have we have so many IT parks here. Okay, I will come to the satellite part, the answer. We have so many IT companies here. We have so many IT parks here. Do you think, is it because of our really good programming knowledge, or is it because we are so much geniuses in our field? Is it because of the fact that we are having big brains? These Europeans are giving us the work. I'm working in an IT company here. Do you think so? That's what there's a difference between consumerism and creation. Production and consumer are two different things. We have computers, we have C++, we have Java, we have .NET. We do so many programs in Python, .NET, Java. We do the coding in Visual Studio Code. We use the Google Colab. Okay, and we do coding with all these tools. We do coding with all these programming languages. We are the best. We are saying that we are the best programmers in the world. The worldwide people is giving us work from all those countries. Australia, Europe. We are getting so much contracts, IT contracts from these countries. I used to ask people, we are coding in Python. We are using Google Colab. We are doing it in our Windows computer. Okay. We are using internet. We are using all these things just to create the code. Similarly, we are launching the most number of satellites. As per the ISRO statistics, we are launching the most number of satellites. Do you think that it's because of our best proven technology, or maybe the best research that we have in the space domain, we are getting those contracts? I would say no. We are doing it in low cost compared to other countries. We are getting all these software contracts. We have all these TCS, Infosys, everything, just because when a UK company asks for quotations from around the world, Indian company will be the company which is quoting less, because the cost of labor here is very low compared to other countries. That's why we are getting all this work here. Okay, similar to that, I would say I have a friend working in ISRO. He said this: we are quoting less amount to get the satellite to space than any other research, any other space organizations around the world. And I asked, what is our proprietary technology? Of course, we are proud to have the proprietary technology, like solid propulsion systems, liquid propulsion systems, so many our own technologies. But still, what attracts our quotation is that our quotation is lower compared to other space research organizations. And that is one of the fact. Of course, we are the best in some domains, but we are running it low cost so that we get more contracts from around the world. Okay, that's a controversy that we are handling right now. Yes, our aerospace domain is better. We are trying to get, I had a chance to visit DRDO in last month. I had a chance to present a session there, and I had a chance to went through their facilities. They were really doing a good job. And the chief scientist there, he said that, sir, we are doing all these researches. We are submitting all these reports. And finally, government will opt to get the missiles or get the submarines from Russia. then we will feel that why we are doing all these things, then why we are doing all this research, why we are coming here in the morning, creating all these miniature models, doing all this testing and everything. We are submitting the report. We are doing all the hard work. Still, the officials, the higher authority here, is opting to get the submarine from Russia. He said it with a broken heart. Maybe they are getting some commissions out of it, but they are belittling the research our actual researchers are doing here. That's a problem currently we are having. Okay, anyway, that's another topic. We will now proceed with what is research and what are the different components that we have in research, in the research journey. Yes. Is anyone trying to say something? I think her mic is accidentally on. All right, so let's see. Okay, fine. So what is research? Research is, of course, it is not copying the existing work. It is not just collecting information. It is not just writing long reports. Okay, so it is not just copying what we have existingly in our existing research. We are not collecting. Yes, exactly. Research is innovation. It should provide something new to the society. It should give some solution to the existing problems, asking questions, finding the evidence. Then we reach or we decide some hypothesis and also discovering new knowledge. So this is not actually research. This is what research means. And characteristics of good research include novelty, means there should be something new. Then feasibility. Even though I am saying that, okay, I am capable of inventing a machine that can take you to future, 10 years ahead of the future. Okay, I'm going to research on that. It is not a good research because I know it is not going to happen. The person who here will know it is not going to happen. There should be feasibility. The things could be achieved. Whatever the thing that we are claiming should be achieved, should be, doable. Then it should have some impact. Okay, I'm saying that I'm going to inventing a lunch box which can play music. Oh, great. That is an innovation. Okay, while we are having lunch, we can listen to music. Is it going to create any impact in the society? No, it is not going to create any impact. It is just another instrument. That's it. Nothing is going to change. I'm not going to do any change to the society. Okay. So this kind of researches are novel, but it is useless. I'm trying to develop an AI system that identify whether the fruit is a banana or not from 50 meters away, 500 meters away. I can have a system which can identify whether the fruit is banana or not. That is also a feasible thing. It is having some novelty. but it does not have any relevance or it does not have any impact in the society. I'm not going to create any impact by identifying bananas from half a kilometer before. So there should be some relevance and there should be some impact with our research. And let's see how great research begins. Great research begins or start with pain. What are the problems that we have in the society which is giving us pain? Waiting in long queues for a medical diagnosis, waiting in traffic lines. There could be people who want to go someplace in a hurry. They will be stuck in the traffic. It's the pain. Then diagnosis. A patient who need quick diagnosis have to wait in the queue because the entire diagnostic technique is very slow. So those kind of things are really painful things which need some solutions. So we have to pinpoint these kind of problems in the society which really need to address the pain, and that should be the point from which we have to start our research, or we need to decide which topic to research should be derived from these kind of painful things the society is currently tackling. For example, the traffic congestion, we can research on intelligent traffic systems. Then the current CT scan system takes at least 20 to 30 minutes for a patient. That's, of course, medical diagnosis delay. We can include, or we can discover, we can research on creating more AI diagnostic assistants or AI agents which can help in diagnosis so that the CT scan can be completed in 10 minutes. Of course, I will say the best research begins with frustration from the problems that is happening around you. We have to look for what are the problems people are complaining about, or what are the tasks that are currently inefficient, which takes more time to execute. What are the systems that are failing to implement? So if you make this, if you are a good researcher or if you are going into research, you should notice these kind of problems. And of course, if you start noticing the problems around you, automatically a research topic will come to your mind, will come to your attention within 1 week, I would say. So, continuing with this, we will discuss what are the different sources of research ideas. Okay, so let's consider the delay in doing a CT scan. That is my problem. I looked around. I had a chance to go to the hospital, and while I was taking care of my elder parents, the big queue I saw in front of the CT scan lab really motivated me to do the research on creating more innovative ways of doing this CT scan, or maybe the more faster diagnostic techniques using the existing equipment, the existing CT scan equipment, and implementing some AI agents to create a faster, nowadays, now the radiologist who is in charge of that CT scan machine, he will be going through all the slices from the CT scan, and he manually will be going through this. He have to keenly observe the result. Then he have to arrive a conclusion. Okay, he is having tumor in his brain, or maybe he's having this cancerous growth. So that is a human effort which is taking this 30 minutes. Only 10 minutes for the scan, 20 minutes for the diagnosis. What if I can include some AI-based agents, which can complete the diagnosis within 10 minutes. So 10 minutes for scan, 10 minutes for diagnosis. Half of the time is getting reduced there. So I decided that that is my area of research. Now the next step is I have to search for the sources for the threat that I am having. The threat I am having is reducing the time which is taking for CT scan. I have to go through the previous papers or literature which is already, if there is any paper which is researching into this, then I have to get into the industry to see the real world challenges. So society, from where we can get the need of the people, the community need, then personal experience. Just like I said, I went to the hospital. Personally, I experienced the problem of this delayed scanning techniques that we are having right now. And of course, if you want to research on emerging technologies like AI, quantum computing, robotics, so all these things can be considered as a source of your research idea. I'm taking this society and the personal experience. My research topic came from the society, where I found that people are experiencing a hard time in getting their scan done, and I personally experienced it at the hospital. So I chose the research based on this. Now I have to, so I found out the domain which I'm going to research, and I found out the why I have to research on this, because it is having a societal impact. Okay, now I have to, okay, give me a moment. So 2 steps I did. One was to find a domain. Then I have to find a cause for why should I research on that. And now I am ready to proceed with finding the research gaps. Of course, I am not the most intelligent person in the world. There could be people who already thought of this thing. There could be experts who already thought about this, why it is taking so long, why it is 30 minutes for a patient. So I have to find what is the current status of this research, what is the current limitation. I'm not saying that, okay, I'm doing some magical things and I can fix it. I will fix so that this can be done in 30 minutes. No, there is some problem, or there is already some problem which is limiting people from reducing this timeline. I have to find what is the current problem. Then I have to check if there is any opportunity left to improve this thing. There are problems which cannot be fixed. Can you spot some of those problems? We know that there is a problem, and also we know that there is no solution to those problems. Can anyone suggest? Did you notice any of that problems? Or only prayer can fix it. The problems that we know that there is a problem, but there is no option we can fix it, or there is no research remaining to do in that so that we can fix the problem. Is there any such kind of a problem that you face in your world around you, or maybe you personally? There is no option left, or there is no gap to do the research. Any problem that we cannot do any research on any problem. Can you suggest any? I cannot find any. That's why I'm asking you if you could find any. I cannot find any problems. Almost all the problems is completely, even though it is not completely fixable, it can be fixed by doing proper research. If it is not able to be fixed, then of course the current research or the current techniques that we are having is not in the correct path. That's why almost all the problems have solutions, except the ultimate problem, like death. When our time is up, we have to die. That is a problem that cannot be solved by research. We can extend the lifespan, but we cannot avoid the ultimate death problem. It's not a problem sometimes, but anyway. So there are some problems which we cannot fix, but we can improve or we can extend. For example, we can extend the lifespan of people with medications. We can extend the lifespan of people through proper nutrition. In fact, 40% of the people around the world die because of cancer. Some get the cancer prematurely, some get the cancer at their old age. This is a topic which need more research. Maybe in some 5 to 6 years, there could be vaccine, just like the vaccines that we take at our 5th standard or 6th standard, or maybe during our our younger age. We had vaccines for polio, we had vaccines for hepatitis. Similarly, maybe within some 5 to 10 years, there could be vaccine for cancer. Studying in LKG, you will get a first injection for colon cancer. Then in 3rd standard for breast cancer. Then in 5th standard, another injection for brain tumor or brain cancer, cerebral cancer. And finally, after 10 years, when the baby, the person is 10 years old, he's immune from all the cancers, all the variety of cancers. There is research going on in this field, and of course, I am really confident that this will happen in the future. All right, okay. And we have to find what are the opportunities that we are having, and then we have to find the problem to research. Now, in this stage, we can get the help of an AI. In traditional research, doing manual research, we have to read. I still remember my research guide, Shaji sir, used to say, if you are researching on this topic, make sure that you read at least 10 research papers, which is already been published on this research. Make sure, not 10 actually, he said it was 100. Make sure you read 100 papers, at least 100 papers on the same topic before you proceed with research on that topic. Okay, so the first step is to go through all the previous work that has been done on that topic. It takes weeks of reading. Even reading a single paper, which has 12 to 16 pages, will take at least 3 to 4 days to read thoroughly. So 100, of course, will take so many number of weeks to read. Then, while reading through each research paper, previous research papers, we have to make the notes. Then then the traditional going through previous research of previous research papers will have these problems. And here we can make use of AI. We are not making use of AI in our actual research. We are making use of AI to do the background work, to go through the previous researchers in the same domain. Then, it will take only hours of reading for an AI for an AI agent compared to the traditional manual going through each and every research paper. And if you ask me whether it is ethical or not, is it the researcher who have to do this? If I'm implementing AI to do this, then will it be ethical? Actually, this is not the research part. This is just the background work. This is just the background process before we proceed with the research. We can save so much time here. If I go through a paper which is almost 16 pages in size, I will find the relevant information only maybe in the page 11, third paragraph. So all the pages, all the 10 pages I am reading and all the other pages I am reading after that is a waste. I will not say exactly waste, but I'm spending so much time reading irrelevant information. But if I'm implementing AI for this, AI can go through all these papers, this 100 papers within only a few hours, and it can generate summaries saying that, okay, these papers have relevant information related to what you're going to research, and it can synthesize summaries based on what it read. So I can save my time here. Instead of so many weeks of reading, I can save my time here. Okay. I'm not substituting AI for thinking. Then we can make use of the AI tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, Google Cloud. Then there is specific tools like Consensus, Elicit, Semantic Scholar. These are specific tools for research. We can make use of this. Okay, so in the age of AI, everything is changing. We humans are not just memorizing machines. We are things that we can reasoning. We can do some reasoning. AI cannot do the reasoning. That's the only thing that is currently differentiating us from AI. All right, let's proceed with our next, which is the complete research workflow. The first step is to ask the question, what is the problem that I am trying to solve? So at first I have to identify the problem, which I have already identified. My problem is why this scanning is taking so much time, why it is making the patients wait. That's my problem. Then the step 2, I have to go through all the researchers. Just like Shaji sir said, I have to go through at least 100 papers which claim to improve the speed of the current existing CT scan mechanism. I have to go through that. I can implement AI, which will speed up the process of this literature review. And then based on the AI literature review, I have to find the research gap. Okay, what are the gap that the current researchers are, or what are the challenges the current researchers are facing? Why the current papers are not able to fix this problem, and what are the things or what are the gaps that you find where you can intervene and you can fix? Then finally, the methodology. We will learn more about this later. and then the experiments, then analysis of the problem, then publishing your findings, and finally commercialization. So you are doing some experiments and analyze the result, then publish your result. And the step 8 is commercialization. We will discuss about these topics later in detail. Now we will see what are the points that you have to consider when you select a research topic. We have to check if it is your passion. Actually, I am passionate about medical science. I'm really very much interested in biology things, medical science and all. So, of course, anything related to medical science will excite me. I know that. If you have excitement, then only you will proceed with the research, because researching is a very time-consuming, tedious, sometimes very boring kind of a process. And if the topic is not of your interest, then you will think, why I am doing this? There is no purpose in doing this. So make sure that the topic that you select is igniting your passion. Then only you will be proceeding with that, or else you will just throw it away. Then funding. Of course, you have to get fund from investors. Research involves a lot of cost. In fact, improving the CT scan technique includes, or to improve that, I have to create the same CT scan kind of a mechanism in my research lab. Then only I can research on that. So that involves so much cost. And if people see some money-making opportunity in this, then only they will invest. So my topic should be able to attract investment. Then employability. What are the career opportunities that my research will give? For example, if I am including AI assistant in this CT scan technology, then the AI engineers should be able to get employment, get career, and also myself should be able to find a career in that research. Maybe this time I can improve CT scan, next time I can improve ultrasound, next time I can improve this MRI scan. So my career should also improve based on the topic I select. Here are some examples. You can see quantum AI, the most trending topic nowadays. People are having very much passion about this technology, and there's a great chance of getting funding. And the number of jobs, actually there is no jobs right now in quantum AI. People are still researching on this. But anyway, in future, there is a great chance that you will get much jobs in this. But if it is, researching about the ancient algorithms, there is less chance of getting funding, because there is no job opportunity here. There is no money-making opportunity here. So, and medical AI, of course, passionate, there is a great chance of getting funding, and there is a great chance of having jobs. And now we will proceed with writing research objectives. Your research objective should be up to the point. For example, if I'm saying my research objective is improving AI, it is a very generalized topic. There is no aim in it. Or if I'm saying that improving medical field, there is no point in it. My objective should be up to the point. Here you can see, I have to develop a CNN-based face recognition model that can improve the covered face or occluded face recognition accuracy by 10%. This is a very accurate kind of, very pinpointed research objective. And there is a saying that the research objective should be following the SMART, the specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound. It should be specific, up to the point. It should be measurable. Then it should be achievable, relevant, and time bound. And this is how a research proposal should look like. So the first step should be to find which topic should I research on. The second step will be to check if that topic will do anything good to the public. Will it attract funding from investors? Is it going to solve any real world problems? By doing that research, will I be able to improve in my career? And if yes, then I have to find a research objective, just like in the previous slide. I have to define a research objective saying that, okay, this is the pinpointed area where I'm going to research on. And after creating the research objective, we have to now proceed with creating a research proposal. This is the formal proposal that we are submitting, saying that I am going to research on this topic. And this proposal should be submitted to a university or maybe a research lab or even a company which is focusing on research. And the research proposal should include these sections. There should be an introduction about the research, then the problem statement about the research, then the literature review, all the previous work I referred, the objectives, I'm sorry, the objectives of the review, objectives of the research, then the methodology which I'm going to follow. Even if I didn't start the research on this, I should have an idea how I am going to proceed with this research. Then what are the results I am expecting? Again, I didn't do the research yet, but I should have the idea about what are the methods I'm going to follow and what are the expected result. I'm not saying that I will be getting this result, but these are the expected result and an expected timeline. I cannot keep on doing the research for 10 to 15 years. I have to define a timeline saying that, okay, I'm going to make the CT scan diagnosis faster. That's my problem statement. And I have research, I have gone through hundreds of papers and I found out so many things, so many gaps in the previous research. Then this is my objective. I'm not going to alter any mechanisms of the machine. I'm going to alter the stage after the scan where the diagnosis happens. And these are the methods I'm trying to include or I'm trying to implement. Then I'm expecting these results, like 50% reduction in the diagnosis time. And the timeline, maybe within 1 year, I can create a solution which will reduce the timeline of, or which will reduce the time of diagnosis to 50%. Then I'm expecting around 15 lakhs of research, 15 lakhs of expense. Then the references. Now, so these are the sections you need to be included in your research proposal. Research proposal is your sales pitch. Nowadays, we are researching only, the research is conducting only in colleges and universities. But you know, in other countries, researches are done even in companies also. For example, Siemens is a company which, or Philips is a company, or BPL is a company, GE, General Electric is a company who are into the production of this big, CT scan machines. These companies will also promote research. Researchers can be done in their company also. So consider your research proposal as your CV, your resume, your sales pitch. You're pitching your research to the company saying that these are the claims I am making and I'm positive about this will work. These are the things that support my, or these are the evidence that support my research. So if you are good, if you are strong in submitting your research proposal, the company will allot you this much budget for your research, and they will heavily reward you for your research. Okay, so make sure the research proposal is well structured so that it is like sales. You are trying to sell your research. Now, I know it is very, not that engaging topic. Always research methodologies is not that much engaging. But anyway, the entire research itself is not that engaging. Of course, it's you have to do the same thing again and again and again and again. It's about consistency. Daily, you will not be very excited to do the research. You should keep on wasting so much hours. Then it turns out that you will not be getting anything out of it. Just like how research is boring, similarly, the presentation in research also is, the presentation on research methodology is also very boring. I know that. I understand. Okay. Now we proceed with the experimental design. We have to find the independent variables and the dependent variables in what you are going to research. Okay, will this session have any break in between? Since we...
No break, sir.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
All right.
Up
Okay.
to 12.
After 12 o'clock is a break.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay, fine.
Thanks.
All right. So we will proceed with our experimental design. We have to identify the independent variables. Just like I said, what are the things that you can change, and also the dependent variables, what you measure, then the control variables, what remains fixed, and the evaluation matrix, or what are the different measurements that you can use. Okay, let's see them one by one. Okay, give me a moment. Okay, let's continue. At first, the independent variable. If you consider the research topic, the CT scan improvement, the CT scan diagnosis improvement, I can say the independent variable is the time for diagnosis. I'm sorry, it is the other way. I can say the independent variable is the time for scanning. A typical CT scan machine will take 10 minutes to do an entire body scan. So that 10 minutes is independent. No, I'm sorry, I'm a bit confused here. So dependent variable is the variable that you can measure. For example, the part of the body which is going to be scanning, maybe if it's a cerebral scan, then maybe it will take some 5 minutes. If it's a whole body scan, it will take some 10 minutes. So we can consider that as our independent variable. Here we can change the part of the body that is scanning, whether you're scanning only the very small part of your body. For example, a patient with some heart issue, some valve issue, or some ventricular problem. You'll be scanning only the left part or left chest of the patient. So the scan may end in 2 or 3 minutes. But if you are doing a spinal scan, it will take the entire spine need to be scanned, slice by slice, round by round. The entire spine need to be scanned. It will take some 10 minutes. So that is the variable that we can change. Then the dependent variable, what you measure. I really had a nice session during the the coursework time of my PhD there in St. Xavier's. Actually, Preeti madam was taking the class. Preeti miss was taking the class in this medical diagnosis machine. It was a really wonderful session. It was during that COVID time. We had online sessions, and she explained these scanning methodologies very well. And I also had some chance to present a topic. So that was a very, I would like to mention that here. Her session was really wonderful. I was very interested in the scanning technology, X-ray, CT scan, MRI scan. That's why I got interested in all these things. Okay, then the control variable, what remains fixed? Maybe the intensity of X-rays, the movement of the patient, probably. So we are caring about the dependent variable here, what we are going to measure here. We will be measuring the different slices. When you go into a scanning center, you can see that, okay, we are using a very advanced machine which uses 124 slices or 64 slice, multi-slice scanning. As the number of slices increases, the accuracy of the diagnosis also increase. So that is also an independent variable. So based on the independent variable, we have dependent variable, which is what we are measuring. Maybe we are measuring the depth of the tumor. If you get some 50 slices, and if you do some 3D mapping within that slice, you can find the depth of the tumor that you're having, or maybe the depth of the ventricular issue that you're having. Then, finally, how the success is measured. I can measure the success by comparing, or I will be giving these sliced images as input to my machine learning model, my deep learning model, and based on if the human diagnose or the human doctor, whoever the patient is operating the machine, or whoever the radiologist who is operating the machine, he is taking 10 minutes and my model is taking 15 minutes, then there is no use. So success is measured if my model is taking less time, considerably less time compared to the human radiologist who is doing the diagnosis. So that's how I am measuring the success here. Okay, then this is a very important step, data set selection. Typically, we will get data set if we are researching on some medical topic, just like in scanning. The data set that you may be receiving should be large. It should have enough samples so that I can train a deep learning or an AI model. I cannot train the AI model with only 5 patient data. I should have at least 5,000 patients data in order to train the model. maybe more than that. 50,000 will be much, much better, because there will be some 500 data in brain tumor, some 500 data in spinal tumor, or maybe dislocation, or even heart conditions. Multiple data for different cases, multiple intensities. The data set should be large enough. I cannot just submit my research with only 500 patient data. So I need large data set. Then there should be diverse data in it. Even though I have 50,000 data and all the data pertain to just heart conditions, patients come with diverse problems. Some may be coming with brain problems, some may be coming with liver problems. So if my data set contains only predominantly 80% heart problem CT scan data, then my model will be biased towards heart problem conditions. It will make inaccurate predictions when dealing with other problems or other conditions. So the data set should be large enough, that the data set that you're collecting should be large enough for the research. Then it should be diverse. It should have different types of patterns of data. Then it should be balanced. Again, if my data set, my CT scan data set, which I'm going to use to train the AI model, contains 70% of heart disease data, 20% of brain disease data or brain tumor, brain condition data, then only 10% of spine condition data, then there is no balance. If I am researching about 5 conditions, there should be, or if I am researching about maybe 4 conditions, I'm saying brain conditions, spinal conditions, or even liver conditions, heart conditions, I should have approximately 25% of data for all these conditions, approximately, not exactly. Then only I can say that my data set is balanced. Then it should be realistic. Okay. If I have a CT scan image, the image that they give us in a very big bag when we go to the CT scan center, I can take one image. I can ask ChatGPT to generate 50 images out of this, 50 different images out of this. Of course, ChatGPT will be generating 50 images out of this actual image. But the problem is that these images are not real world images, they are generated images. We cannot use that. Since medical science is a very critical science, we cannot use this kind of generated data. We have to get real world scenario, real world data. Okay, so this is how you can select the data set. Then, of course, these are the challenges that people will face when they are selecting the data set for their research. There could be missing data. There could be noise in the data. Missing data means there was supposed to be 50 measurements, 50 circumference measurements, but I'm having only 10 of them. So 40 data is missing. The noise in the data. Sometimes the output may not be clear. There could be focus issues. Those are noise. Bias. Data may be predominantly from another domain. Then privacy concerns. Some patients will not let their data go public. They will not allow the hospital to share their data because of privacy concerns. Then insufficient number of samples. Of course, I am expecting 50,000 samples of data to train my model, but I am getting only 5,000. So insufficient samples. I'm sorry. So, and also sometimes if I'm collecting data from for example, from our Kim's hospital, it's one of the big hospital chain here. if I'm collecting data only from Kim's hospital, I'm getting data predominantly from South Indian based genetics, isn't it? Mostly we people from Kerala, Tamil Nadu will be going to this hospital. So mostly, predominantly, the scan data, the medical data will be from the ethnicity South Indian. And since medical science is very diverse, the same measurement, the same disease conditions will not be the same for other ethnic people, maybe North Indian people. Of course, we differ very much. Although, even though it's a controversial topic, North Indian people are different from South Indian people. Not because they live in North Indian state or we live in South Indian state. Genetically, we are different. If anyone still is listening to this session, do you agree with my statement? North Indian people are genetically different from South Indian people, I'm saying. Yes, thank you, Khadij. Okay. At least some of you are listening. Thank you, Tony. Yes. So, of course, I would say North Indians are derived from, this Afghan Sindh. They are actually, Aryan kind of genetics they are having. They are mostly Aryan civilization people who derived from this Sindh region, that Afghanistan, Balochistan, Pakistan, those are Sindh region. From there they evolved. Their genetics is different. They are people of, at least the actual Sindh Dravid, Aryan people is having a height of 6 feet, at least 6 feet. They are having, brown hairs. Then they are fair compared to the South Indian part. So their entire genetics is different. They are tall, fair. Their jawline is very long. Most of them, 90% of them, is having these kind of traits. They are Aryan people. When we take the population in South India, of course, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Karnataka, we are Dravidian people. We are not that, an average height will be some 5.5. Then we are not that having fair skin complexion compared to them. Our hair color is predominantly black. And we are having typical, short people here, but they are having some long people there. So genetically, they are different compared to us. We usually say do not differentiate based on this. This north south differentiation should not be there. But in fact, it is there in the genetics. The differentiation is there in the genetics. So if I'm collecting data from a scanning center located in Mumbai, and if I'm collecting the same data from here in Trivandrum or maybe in Nagarcoil, the difference will be very large because they are having different genetic genetic buildup than we Dravidian people. All right, so of course the bias of data is very important. So when I'm collecting data, I should get a mix-up of this. I should go to Mumbai, collect some 5,000 data. I should go to here in South Indian, any one of the South Indian, diagnostic centers and collect the rest of 5,000 data, so that I will get a mix-up of both the genetics here. Then ethics, of course, another controversial topic. Plagiarism, it's a real menace nowadays. Plagiarism means we are copying paper or we are copying idea from other people. Does copying mean that when we refer to other people's research, we are actually referring their research, isn't it? Can it be considered as copying? No, because we are referring to their work so that we can get more information for our work. But plagiarism is we are taking someone's research and we are saying that it's our research. We are doing some little bit of changes here and there, and we are submitting, saying that it is our research. That's called as plagiarism. And it is very much discouraged in research. We should not claim ownership of other person's research as our research. Then data fabrication. That is also a thing that need to be discouraged. When we are researching, when we are doing some research, for example, the same research I can say, I can generate data using ChatGPT, which can help me in deriving the conclusion in my flavor. I'm sorry, it's not flavor, it's favor. For example, I'm trying to prove that my research can get down the time of diagnosis from 20 minutes to 10 minutes. And I can carefully fabricate data. I can carefully create data with AI using ChatGPT, or manually I can create, maybe using Photoshop. I can create multiple copies of this image, and I can prove to the research community saying that, see this data? This data proves that my research can reduce the timing from 20 minutes to 10 minutes. Does that data is an original data? No, it is not an original data. I created the data. That is called data fabrication, so that it will favor my research. And later, if some person take my paper and gather some actual data and implement all the techniques that I mentioned in my paper, and he may report saying that, okay, this person was lying. His data is not original. His data is fabricated. Then I have to face the consequences. So make sure we refrain from data fabrication, creating artificial data to support our claim. Then image manipulation. Okay, that is something different here. When we publish a paper, sometimes, physics kind of papers or biology kind of papers, for example, we are saying that using the molecule that I created, I can impair the growth of virus in a sample, in a blood sample. And to claim my research, since it's a medical paper, I have to publish the photographs of before applying the molecule that I created and after applying the molecule that I created. I can clearly see the virus growth has reduced. Maybe using an electron microscope, I can generate these images. And again, if the research is not giving me actual result, still I can Photoshop it. I can take the image, I can ask or I can do the Photoshop so that I can make the virus part appear smaller, claiming that my molecule destroyed the virus. That's manipulation. The problem is that no one else can redo this research in the same, using the same mechanism, using the same conditions. But I am cheating the research community. I am cheating the scientific community. So image manipulation is also against the ethics. Then AI-generated text. Of course, just like I said, people are publishing 30, 50 papers nowadays without any use to the public, without having any opportunity in creating any patents out of it, any inventions out of it. No use papers generated by AI. And fake citations, asking friends, colleagues, or paying some Chinese Facebook group so that they can generate fake citations. You know one thing? There are groups. There are Facebook groups. There are Instagram groups which claims that they can generate fake citations. If you give some money, they will generate citations for your work. Really, it's there. Within 2-3 weeks, you will be having more than 500 citations for your paper. And the citations, of course, they will be publishing the papers, may not be in really well-known journals and all, but you will get the citation. Just like you dance before the camera, you publish the video of your dance, and while watching, you found out that, okay, I'm not getting enough likes, so I am paying 100 or maybe 1,000 rupees to a Chinese company, and these people can generate views and likes within matter of minutes. Within one day, you will be getting more than 2 lakh views for your video and maybe 10,000 likes and 100 subscribers. There are companies. Then biased result. Of course, if my data set consists of only Dravidian people, then the result will be biased to Dravidian people. If any company implement my solution in Mumbai, these Aryan people are going to suffer. Because my product, my research is based on predominantly the data I gathered from Dravidian people, Dravidian genome. Okay, so the result is biased. Now, reproducibility crisis. A well-written paper, a well-written research document should be able to be reproduced by other people. If I am taking a research done by our Selva Pradeep, okay, I'm just taking a name, okay. I got that paper and I am planning to research furthermore on that paper, that research topic. And that paper seemed to be very interesting. So I should be able to reproduce the same result that our Selva Pradeep was able to do it in his research. A good research paper should be having all the data that enables another person to recreate the same examples, the same experiments that that person claimed to have done in that paper. There should not be any missing code. He should not hide any data set. The documentation should be clear so that I can repeat it. I can repeat the experiment. There should not be any hidden parameters that the other person should be known of so that he can recreate or reproduce the same result. That's what meant by reproducibility crisis. Okay, then this problem is a very popular problem among academicians, where research is not done for research, but for the sake of the institution. The institution will force them to do more research. When I tried to join another academic institution here nearby, I'm not mentioning the name of the institution. The first we discussed about the salary, compensation, everything we discussed, and the principal of the institution was having only one condition. Sir, you should publish at least one paper in a year. Every year, I should publish one paper. So, what is the point in that? research should be something that when I'm walking through the road, I found out some problem, and something should come from inside, the desire to research on that topic. I found some problem that the public is facing, and the desire to do the research should come from inside. Maybe that desire may come next month. Maybe the desire will not come for another 2-3 years. We cannot say that, okay, I will be doing research every year, publishing paper every year. No one should force that. And if you are forcing a person to do research or publish a paper every year, then of course that research will be rubbish. He will be publishing it just for the sake of it, just for the sake that the principal mentioned that, okay, I should publish a paper, I'm publishing it. There is no genuine research. Or maybe if I am not publishing, the management will turn against me. They will depromote me. They will take some revenge measures against me. Okay, so there is pressure to publish more papers, increase the citations. Of course, if I cannot increase it naturally, I will be going to a Chinese group and I will give them money. Dear Chinese brother, please increase the citations of my paper. Then improving the index, the H index, then securing funding. That is another big headache for academicians. A funding research should be approved by the funding agency. Maybe the funding agency is not interested in our research. There are research topics which should be done for the good of the public, not just solely for funding. Of course, money means money can solve 99% of the problems, of course. Everything needs money. But still, sometimes money is not everything. Our research should look into the problems that people are facing, and the funding company, the funding organization may not be interested in our research because it's not generating any money. Okay, so these are the things that makes people forced to publish papers, even though they are not willing, or even though they are not in a mindset to do the research. Just for the sake of it, we are publishing papers. Okay. Now, we will now proceed with the topic which is very controversial: how much we can use AI in research. There is a saying in our industry that if you are not, or if you are embarrassed by AI, the people who embrace AI will replace you. So we should not keep AI out of the limits. We should not be embarrassed by AI. We should embrace AI. We should be working together. AI can do the references through previous work, doing some assistance in coding, analyzing the data. Weeks of this work can be made easy by using AI. But AI cannot innovate. AI cannot give new suggestions. AI can do research on existing things. What is the existing, or what are the different methods they follow? What is the, or it can analyze the data. It can save you time, but it cannot innovate. Only humans can innovate. Okay. Then these are the emerging research careers. We have a research scientist, and before we proceed, we will try creating. Okay, I have some. Okay. Okay, I had some prompts that we can use. I would like to demonstrate how I can use AI for research. I will use Claude. Let me go to a new tab. Okay, Claude AI is actually the a tool that you can use to do most of your research. Give me a moment. Let me have some water. Give me a moment. Okay, so here I am using Claude AI compared to ChatGPT. This will be the best model you can use for research topics. Here I am going to I'm going to ask AI. This is my prompt. I'm planning to do research on reducing the diagnosis time after scan, after a CT scan, suggest me a research problem, objective for this topic. Okay, may not be that good. Anyway, let's see what our A is suggesting. So it's suggesting the research objective here, the first research objective, to develop and evaluate AI assistance triage framework. You know what is triaging? Triaging is the process of classifying patients based on the severity of their disease. Sorry. Triage framework that prioritize and pre-annotate CT scan findings, thereby reducing the time between scan acquisition and radiologist command. Okay, this one. Then the second option, to identify and systematically eliminate bottlenecks in the post-CT diagnosis workflow. No, this is not what I am trying to do. Then option 3, to design and validate a real-time clinical decision support system that synthesizes CT imaging data with patient history and lab values, enabling faster and more accurate preliminary diagnosis before formal radiologist review. Okay, I can take this. I don't want to avoid the human part here. So there is a machine into which the patient is passing to get scanned. Once the scan is done, of course, there should be a radiologist. And in between the machine generated data and the radiologist, I'm going to place my AI model so that this AI model can help creating a primary diagnosis, a preliminary diagnosis before the actual radiologist review the data. That's what I'm trying to do. Radiologist should review the data, but my AI model will do a preliminary diagnosis so that the radiologist can save some time during the diagnosis. Okay, so this is my objective. Okay, now what was our okay? I'm discarding all of the other suggestions. I am keeping only this. Then our next step in research was to find the gaps in the research. Find the gap in the current research scenario for this research objective. Okay, so I am prompting the AI to identify the major research gaps in the following research objective. Then I am pasting the research objective here. Okay, so it is thinking. You can see it is researching the internet, and it generated a structured breakdown of major research gaps within your research within the research objective that I am having. So it's saying that most of the existing work focus on combining medical images with structured or unstructured data separately. And the challenge is that integrating all the three, that is imaging, the structured data, then the temporal lab values, remains a significant challenge. Okay, so instead of me going through all these papers, you can see it went through so many papers. Okay, I will mention that also here. List out all the papers you referred for finding the gap. Okay, save. So the AI is trying to find research gaps, going through all the papers, all the relevant papers for the research objective. This is my research objective. Okay, it is going through all the papers. Searching the web. Okay, so I got the result here. Gap 1, most of the CT-based AI diagnostic model existing right now validated only on internal data set and failed to perform consistently in external or multi-center settings. Okay, AI models frequently achieve high internal validation performance. Their performance declines when applied to external data. That is a gap. So my system needs a multi-center, multi-population validation strategy. Okay, then another gap the AI system noticed is that there is a weak multimodal data fusion between CT, the lab values, and the patient history. And I asked for the list of papers. You can see these are the list of papers that I referred. 15 list of papers it referred. If I was the person to refer this 15 list of papers and arrive at this conclusion, it will take me 2 weeks. Okay. So I did it in 30 seconds. All right. Now, let me select any one of these gaps so that I can proceed with my research. Okay. The second one, this one need to be fine. Okay. Let's copy this. Copy. Now I am saying that. So I selected my domain of research. Then I generated research ideas using AI. Research problem objective I generated using AI. I'm sorry. And after generating the objective, I asked AI to find any gaps in the research. And it found me so many gaps, and also it gave me the list of papers it referred for finding the gap. You can see 15 papers it was referred. Now, this gap, copy this gap, and I am writing saying that, there is a prompt called role-based prompting, and I am giving my AI assistant a role saying that act as a research scholar and write the literature review on the research gap. Okay, this was the research gap it found out, and I am asking the AI to behave like a research scholar and write a research review. I can mention follow the official literature review formatting of Anna University, Chennai. Not very much ethical, but anyway, let's try this. Okay, and it is searching the web. It is searching all the websites where it mentioned Anna University report format. It is getting report format from Anna University, and then I'm waiting for the result here. Okay, now I need everything. Now I have everything needed. Let me write the full literature review following Anna University Chennai's official document. Times New Roman. Oh, okay. I'm waiting for AI to complete it. I think it is taking so much time. So using AI should be restricted only till the first phase of research. AI can speed up referring through documents, summarizing the existing research, then writing or helping you write the objective of the research. Maybe you can streamline the objective of research that you are having. And that's it. It should be stopped there. And after that, the actual research should be done by a human. If you continue to use AI even after that, even for research also, then you are not the author. AI is the author. That's a problem. Okay. You can write a prompt like this. Okay, what is it doing? Just going through. Okay, let it get the document. You will see how it look like. Sometimes this AI will hallucinate. Here it is trying to create some tables and all, but we are not sure that this data is a genuine data. Even if I ask AI to create this literature review, it will give me back a perfect review with some sample data. With some sample data, AI claims that it is actual data, but it is not actual data. Sometimes this AI will hallucinate. It will create its own document, its own data, and it will present saying that, okay, I swear to God, saying that this is actual data, but it will not be actual data. I'll show you. What happened? I think I have to download it. Okay, I'm downloading the document. Now let me open it. I'll share the screen. I will share the screen. Okay, you can see I got the literature review here. Exactly in a university format. The font size is the same. Then, and if you scroll down, keep on scrolling, scroll down. You can see there is a summary of the reviewed literature here. This is the part where AI will make us look fool. AI will betray us. This, all the other, the text, it's okay, fine. But when it comes to data, AI is not that trustworthy. We have to manually verify whether this author and this paper exist. Sometimes AI will hallucinate saying that, okay, this paper exists. There is a paper like this, and in this paper, they are mentioning like this. AI is actually dreaming. It is not, maybe this paper does not exist. If you are trusting AI and trying to submit this literature review, of course, you will be in trouble. So make sure the data that AI is giving you back, the citations or this kind of tabular data, whatever AI is giving you back, you have to go through each and every field, each and every row of this data, citations especially. AI can hallucinate new papers. AI will say that, okay, the paper which was published in 1994 have this. There will not be any paper. AI will give some name and say that, okay, there's a paper like this. So you have the cross-checking should happen in these places, these tabular data. Okay, and now once you go through all the data, even go through these papers, read the exact finding that AI mentioned in that paper, then you are all set to proceed with your actual research. So we are making that first part of the research, the referring part, going through every paper, each and every paper, instead of wasting so much time going through each and every paper, going through irrelevant data to find out only the page number 50 is having the relevant data. You can speed up that part. And while speeding up that part, AI will do this on behalf of you. AI will go through all the papers, find out all the research related to your topic, and it will summarize whatever the finding it has. Now, the only thing that we have to do is we have to go through all these summary, and then we have to learn what it is trying to say. And finally, we have to double, triple check the citations, the references it is giving us back. Okay. So this is how you can speed up your research process. And after this, you will be proceeding with your actual experiments, the actual research start after this. And make sure that that part should not be done by AI. There should be 100% human participation in the actual research part. This part we can automate, no problem. All right, so that's all in the session. Okay. Even though it was not that engaging, I tried my best to keep it engaging. All right. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. We had a very good session on research project development and future research careers by Dr. Abhilash Nelson, sir. Thank you so much, sir. On behalf of our management of St. Xavier's, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Electronics and Communication Engineering, and Electrical and Electronics Engineering, I express our sincere gratitude to our esteemed resource person, Dr. Abhilash Nelson, for taking time out of your busy schedule to share your valuable knowledge, expertise with us. Your informative presentation on research practical examples motivating us to explore new ideas in our research field. Thank you so much, sir. I extend my heartfelt thanks to our respected principal, management, and faculty coordinators, organizing committees of CSE, ECE, and EEE departments. I extend a valuable and wholehearted thanks to all the participants of this 6-day STTP and making the STTP a memorable one. Thank you all. Thank you, sir. I shall posting the feedback link here. Please fill it.
Yeah, thank you all. Thank you for listening very patiently, even though it was not that kind of an engaging topic. Still, you patiently listened to my session. Thank you all once again. Thank you, the department HODs, and all the faculty members, including the St. Xavier's management team, for giving me this chance to have a presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all.